Alright, so welcome back. This is another replay. This is an actual old one I've got from about, I think it's 8.10, just before 8.11 came out. This is, of course, me and Trigs platooned up again. We're now little old Panzer 1Cs. This is a tier 5 game, so we're bottom of the run, basically. And yeah, it is an encounter battle on Melanovka. And not a lot. Well, initially when you look at the tanks on the enemy team, you'd think there's not a lot we can actually do here, but we do notice on the other side there is a platoon of 2 arties and another Panzer 1C. And as we've found, the Panzer 1Cs actually make good sort of impromptu scouts. They've got a 700 meter radio, so what we're actually going to do is we're figuring that the Panzer 1C is going to go around the bottom of the map, probably come up behind our teammates and artillery and whatever else, and his arty platoon mates are basically just going to rain down arty shots on all the camping people in the forest. So we're going to try and prevent that. We're going to come around the bottom of the map ourselves and try to intercept him and take him out of the fight. So we're just still barreling along. These things are really, really quick. You can see we've already pulled out a pretty sizable gap. We've got behind us, there's an M5 Stuart, and there's I think that's a Crusader. Yep, a Crusader coming as well. So at this stage we haven't seen the 1C, so we figured he's probably gone up to the hill, I'm guessing, or in the little village. So we're basically going to do what we thought he was going to do. We're going to go into the bottom of their base and just spot up all the people that are camping and try to take out some quick kills, perhaps. Most likely arty. See, there's an M3 Lee already. Not much of these things can do against an M3 Lee. There are spots we can pen, but really hard. And there's an AT2, which absolutely is impossible to pen with these things. So I fire off a couple of quick shots at 2001 because I had a side shot on him, so I figured I'd try for it. 50-50 really. Meanwhile, here are their arties. Now I stopped moving there, which is a bit silly, but it doesn't really matter too much. Trigs finishes off the other arty, so all 3 of their arties are dead. We've sort of suicided into their base. But we're still alive somehow. We're dodging fire like anything. Acceleration of these things isn't great. They don't have a terribly powerful engine, but they are light, and they do sort of wind up to a really good speed. So going up a hill, you can see we're not moving particularly quick. It's not too bad though. I'm, of course, nearly dead. Trigs has still got a reasonable amount of HP. Actually, no, he's still full HP. And shots on a Hetzer, but unfortunately, Trigs just manages to drive in front of my gun for a split second, takes a couple of shots from me. Now Trigs is annoying the 3001H, which is behind us, of course. Not a lot we can do about that either. So I'm going back, I'm basically just looking around. I know there's an Electo, there's the Electo, which I can take out pretty quick. And I get smacked by something else, by the 3001. He looks like he's got an L70 on, so there was not a lot I could do. But still, took out the Electo, spotted up a bunch of stuff. You can see most of their team has sort of died now, although then again, most of our team has also died. Trigs is on 4 kills, nearly dead. So at this stage, Trigs has kind of got a bit of a problem. Apart from the 2001D and the S35, there's not a lot he can really do about the remaining tanks. The Mauser on the Panzer 1C only has about 30 mil of penetration, so there's not a great deal. And even the 2001D from the front, that's probably just going to bounce a lot of the shots. So Trigs is basically, he's got to go into scout mode. There's nothing else he can do here. He's got to scout and basically spot the enemy positions and show everyone else where they are so they can shoot at him, and he'll basically just pick up a heap of spotting damage. So I'm just trying to flick through the... And here's Trigs taking out the rear. And this 85B finishes him off. So it looks like it's mostly in our favour here, but they still have an AT2 and the 3001H. Now the 3001H doesn't have great armour, but he does have a lot of HP, and he does have the L70, which basically has the capacity to put a shot right through any of these tanks. And here's a Crusader against the 2001D, which is a bit of a weird combination. AT2 finishes off the Crusader. Trying to switch back to Trigs, who's in a massive power slide. So at this point, there's only 3 tanks. We know where the 2001D is, we know where the 3001 and the AT2 was last spotted. But Trigs is basically just going to go up this hill, because he knows they're on the other side of the hill, somewhere down in the forest around the church, somewhere around there. So he's going to go up the hill, go along the top, see if he can spot them, and then barrel down the other side, using the downhill speed to basically make sure that he can't get shot at, unless they're incredibly lucky. And then hopefully spot up the targets and the others can finish them off. Hopefully, anyway. Keep in mind, Trigs is still only on 80 HP. So here we have an M5 Stuart who's trying to shoot at the 2001D from behind, and the Stuarts have really poor gun depression at the back. If you ever have to do that, just turn the tank, even if it's side on. Just don't try to use the depression at the back, because there is none. So now Triggs has got his speed. He's at maximum speed, 79 kilometers an hour, the fastest tank in the game. There's also why it makes a good scout. It's fast, nimble, good radio. So there's the 3001H, and there's the AT2. AT2 is running the derp cannon that it gets. Right, so at this point, it's not gone quite the plan. They've still got... Oh, there we go. The 3001 just got taken out by Artie because of the spot from Trigs. Or was it the SU-85B? Either one. But at this stage, it's still in the balance. I mean, we've still only got 2 Artie. We've got the SU-85B, who does have a good gun. And we've got Trigs, who can't pen the AT2 for the life of him. And we see here, I switched to an external view, this Sexton's got himself in a bit of a problem here. 21D's coming up on him, and at this stage, this team needs the Artie to be alive still. So we switch back to Trigs. Trigs has got a nice rear shot on him, and takes him out. Fortunately too. So yeah, to take out the AT2, it's got to come down to the SU-85B and Artie. So Trigs has to save that Artie to have a chance here. And unfortunately, Trigs is on 5 kills here, and had he have killed the S-35 earlier on, he would have had a top gun. Of course, he could try to kill the AT2, but that's not going to happen. Ever. So now Trigs knows where the AT2 roughly was, and he's going to spot him, and he now has spotted him. And for the life of me, I don't know why, but this AT2 is down in the swamp area, which AT2s are already slow and have poor mobility, and being in the swamp is just even worse, so... AT2's tracked, so Trigs is now basically just got to roll up behind him, and he's trying to pen the coupler, but it doesn't pen. So he's just got to try and blow off the tracks. So no one's done a lot of damage yet to it. Artie misses a shot. Tracks are still off. And there we go. Trigs now takes out the other track. So pretty much at this stage, this AT2 is boned. He's got his rear facing the enemy. And he is basically permanently tracked. Trigs is going to sit there and basically all the time reset the repair speed on those tracks. And it's obvious this guy either doesn't have a repair kit or didn't, or has already used it. And there we go, Artie finally finishes him off. So yeah, that is a great example of what you can do in a light tank, even if it looks like there's not much you can do against the tanks that you're facing.